Okay, so you made it past the title of the video. So you made it farther than most people. That's a good sign. So let's get into it. Why are black people so sensitive? Why is it so easy to get under our skin? Now, if Dr. Umar is watching this, he's probably thinking, oh, hell no, this brother is out here cooning, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was out here bunny hopping as well. Stay with me. Anytime you see a brother out here speaking in this fashion, you can look to either the left or the right of him, and you can find what? His bunny. You see that? By the way, hit the Cash App to donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Donations, my brothers and sisters, donations. Hey, listen, I rock with Dr. Umar, bro. I'm just joking. But in all seriousness, though, why are black people so sensitive? Let me take a crack at it. It's because we're taught to be angry. It's because we're taught to be sensitive. We wouldn't talk about systemic racism. Let's talk about this then, because we can't ignore this. How is it that in home and at school, one of the biggest things we teach about when it comes to black history is slavery? Well, explain this to me, because maybe I'm missing something. How are we going to raise young kings and queens if they think that our history started with slavery? Listen, because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to teach my kids about slavery as they get older. Because do I want my kids to be educated about their history? Absolutely, yes. But do I want to pollute their minds and have them potentially go through the phase that a lot of us go through, at least I did, of hating white people because of it? No. And by the way, anybody watching this and you have some disagreements or you have some comments or you have answers to what I'm asking these questions, drop them. Like, I'm down. I'm down for the engagement. I'm down for the disagreements. I'm down for whatever. Like, if you got answers, let me know. I'm putting this out as my opinion, but also if you got some answers to these questions, put your boy on game. But anyways, back to what I was talking about when it comes to African history or black history. I want to talk about the good that we do. I want to talk about the African royalty. I want to talk about the positive in our history, the positive in our culture. And there are so many things that we could talk about, but yet we highlight slavery as one of the biggest things. It was a big deal, especially if you're here in America. That's one of the biggest things. That's one of the first things you learn about your history. But I don't see how that helps us in any way. Not saying we don't need to learn about it, but I don't see how that, that just makes us angry. Let me give you an alternative. Let me give you a positive, like something that I think we should be highlighting more or making more films like. I remember back in February of 2018, a movie called Black Panther came out. Maybe you heard about it. Man, I've never been so excited for a movie in my life. Man, I legit still get goosebumps thinking about that feeling of that time and how beautiful it was, seeing so many black people showing up to the premiere in their traditional African garb and they're wearing their dashikis and their natural hair and everything. And it was beautiful, man. And it was so beautiful because the energy was there, man. Like, black people were just so excited to see each other. We were coming up hugging people we didn't even know. Like, it felt like it was family. It was like a family reunion at every single movie theater. And there was love and there was unity. We were just so happy. We're all doing the after, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, it was just so beautiful, right? It was just an awesome time, right? I want more of that. I want more of that. And Black Panther has been my favorite character ever since. Hence why the color of my car is the color of the car and the theme of the whole thing. So there you go. So back to what I was saying, man, we're taught to be angry. And it's intentional, I believe. Like, if you keep telling somebody that they descend from slaves, if you keep reminding somebody that they used to be less than, then they're gonna get angry. They're gonna be mad. We are taught to be sensitive. We are taught to be mad. Why? Because that's what the opposition wants. They want you to feel that way. Listen, let me share a story with you, man. A couple weeks ago, I'm driving in my car and it's an intersection and I'm about to make a left turn, right? And to the right of me, there's a lady who's also waiting to make a left turn. She has the right of way, but she's waiting for the cars to pass so that she can turn. Now, this whole time while she's waiting, she's staring at me and I'm kind of looking at her. I'm like, what the freak is this lady staring at? Do I know her? Like, you go through all these different thoughts, right? You know what I'm talking about. You're watching and you're kind of like, do I know this lady? Is she one of my mom's or is one of my friend's moms? Like, who is this, right? And then after like 15, 20 seconds, she's still staring. I start to get mad. At first I was kind of like confused. Like, do I know her? Was there something on my car that she's trying to tell me about? I don't know. She's just staring at me. And after a while, you're kind of like, you start to get upset. You're like, what the freak is she staring at? And then you start getting really mad. Like, bro, this old racist white lady just staring at me. Why is she hating? Whatever. What's her problem? Whatever. Whoop de whoop. You automatically go to racism, or you automatically go to, she's thinking something negative about you is my point. Come to find out, she drives up next to me because now cars pass and she can make her left turn. So she's approaching my car and she's getting closer and she's still mad dogging me. She's still looking. And she rolls her window down and as she's getting closer to my car, so I'm thinking, yo, this grandma about to pull the strap out. I'm about to get ready to skirt off. So anyway, she's getting closer to my car. She rolls the window down and she's getting closer to me. And then she goes, I love your car. I love the purple, that's beautiful, that looks so good, whatever. And she compliments me as she's driving by, and then she just drives off, right? I said, damn. I was like, wow, bro. It was such a wake-up call for me, even though I've already, I've been thinking the way that I've been thinking, like these videos I've been putting out, I've been on this time for some time now. However, that was still a reminder to me, like, yo, I still have some of that programming in me. Like, when she was looking at me, my mind automatically went to something negative. Yet she was looking at my car in admiration, but my mind was reading it as she's thinking something negative. And part of it, I was thinking, like, she has to be racist. I'm black, she's white, she has to be racist. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta be careful with that, man. But again, we're taught to think that way. And you know what's funny, bro, is when I talk about things like this, when I make videos like this, I have black people coming in my comments trying to discredit everything that I'm talking about because of where I'm from. Like one time I made a video about racism not being the biggest issue for black people in America nowadays, remind you, let me tell you, nowadays, not back then, nowadays. And this lady, actually I don't even know if it was a lady, a guy, somebody, they commented and they said, are you a naturalized African or a Caribbean immigrant? I said, no, I'm from Cali, born and raised. Now I get it. They're trying to figure out if I'm making a video about racism in America, then I for damn sure better be from here. Otherwise, I don't want to hear you talking about something that you migrated into. You get what I'm saying? So I understand, that's fair. But then the next question becomes, okay, well, what about your parents? Where are they from? I said, they're from California as well. And then someone else jumps into the conversation and they go, asking about his parents is the wrong question. Ask him where his ancestors are from. I said, oh my gosh, here we go. So I said, okay, it depends on how far you want to go back. My lineage goes all the way back to the Totogo and Ateki people in Gabon. Like, what you want to know? They say, okay, that's cool, okay. But what about how far back in America? I say generation upon generation. Now we have a conversation about it, right? Then he goes, okay, so you say you're from Cali. Where in Cali? I say, oh my gosh, okay, bro, listen, I'm not doing this anymore, bro. I've entertained this long enough. I passed all your freaking tests. You know I'm not an immigrant. You know both of my parents are black. I'm not mixed. You know my grandparents and my family have been here generation upon generation. I don't even know how many decades they've been here. I passed all your tests and you're trying to find any kind of way to discredit the words coming out of my mouth, but it's not working. So I had to just move on. But you know the funny thing, you know what would have happened if I would have said, oh, I was from Jamaica or I'm from the Caribbean islands or whatever? They would have been, see, this Negro's not even from here. And they would have been like, I'm not listening to anything you're saying. You can't talk about this struggle. You don't know about what we go through. You migrated into this situation, which leads me to my next point. I realized when I was talking to this guy going back and forth and I passed all his tests as far as my blackness, it didn't matter how black I was to him. He wanted to know if I'm from the hood. And if I say I'm not from the hood, then they'll discredit everything you say anyway. So they're not asking you how black you are. They want to know the trauma you've been through. They want to know where you've lived. They want to know where you're from. That's what they're getting at. And if you're not from the hood, then you can't say nothing about black culture, no black community, nothing. You are exiled. You are not one of us. You are an Oreo from Orange County. Now get up out my freaking comments. Like, it's almost as if, like, if you're from the hood, you've earned your stripes and you've earned the right to be able to talk about black struggles and black issues within our community. You've earned it. You've paid your dues, son.
What would a Vietnam vet be like without a sergeant, without any backup, without any other soldiers, nobody but a Vietnam vet in Vietnam? When he came home, how would he be? And that's me. I had to go through all that street, war, everything, the same drugs that everybody else get turned out on. You know, where I would have been stopped shorted, I made it past. And here's where I am. But because I made it past, I missed some lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for that message, Pac. So listen, Pac is not the only person that I've heard this analogy from, right? Where they talk about it's like being a soldier in a war zone. And because I get it. You know, living in the hood in a lot of ways is exactly that. It's a war zone. There's a lot of battling. There's death. There's, trauma. There's all kinds of different things within your household, but also just outside your neighborhood. You can't even go down the street without having, something potentially happen to you. I understand that analogy and what he's saying. What I'm saying is why is that a flex then that's where you grew up? You're not supposed to be proud of that. Yet here you are somehow glorifying it in your language. There's no way you're sitting here telling me that. But back to the analogy though about being a soldier in this giant war. Let me ask you a question, black people. What war are we trying to win? Is it not to be united? Is it not to love on each other? Is it not to help each other out? Is it not to support each other? Because a lot of what I'm seeing, and I'm not going to sit here and say that's all of what I'm seeing or all that's happening out in the world, but a lot of what happens, or at least what I'm seeing right now, is black people tearing each other down, not supporting each other, hating on each other, the crabs in a bucket mentality. That's a lot of what I'm seeing. Because again, people like me, when we have these conversations, when I share my opinions, if I say that I'm not from the hood, which I'm not, then immediately everything I say is discredited. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm, hanging out with the white boys, whatever, not knowing anything about my history or my past or whatever. They just want to use these things to be able to be like, nope, I don't even want to hear that, write you off, you are ignorant. You sold your souls for clicks and views, whatever that freaking dude said. It's just crazy, bro. It's crazy out here, bro. But again, who am I? I can't talk about this because I'm not from the hood, you know what I'm saying? Even though my family, at least a lot of my family is from Inglewood, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Uncle Sean, my Auntie Stacy, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all if y'all watching this. My cousin Sean, my cousin Casey, my cousin Peyton, my Uncle Chris, you know what I'm saying? My Auntie Twink. You know what I'm saying? My grandma Debbie, my grandpa Norman, shout out to all y'all watching this if you do, and you are. I love y'all to pieces. And just know your cousin, your nephew, your grandson has not lost his mind. I'm just out here speaking my opinion, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, even though I got family from out there, I can't talk about any of this because I'm not from there myself. Okay, cool. But to the people that say that, I challenge you and I say this. I think that that mindset is weak and brittle, and I don't think it'll serve you well throughout life. That's just my opinion. Now, lastly, but certainly not least, when it comes to the topic of the area of sensitivity within Black community, we got to talk about this because this is one of the biggest freaking things. The N-word. Yes, we're talking about the N-word, bro, because y'all going to be like, oh, snap. Man, he better not say what I think he's about to say. I'm not going to say that, okay? Let me just say this first before y'all get crazy or try and get in the comments. You're probably typing already. You're probably getting carpal tunnel typing whatever comments right now. Listen, I will never in my life, and I never have ever condoned anybody using the N-word that's not Black, that's not mixed, that's not whatever, because I wasn't raised like that. However, if I'm being honest, I don't even understand why Black people use the N-word. I don't get it. Now here it goes. I probably lost a lot of you right now when I said that. You said,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
We can't use the N-word? Well, we can do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? Black people can do whatever they want. And you're right, you can. But I'm just curious. I want to know, anybody Black who's watching this and you use the N-word, I just want to know. Drop a comment of why you think it's okay to use it. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying I don't understand why. Here's my reasoning why I don't think we should. So the year was, I think it was 2007. I was in 7th grade, right? So I was in 7th grade. MySpace was still the thing, right? I think it was like kind of on the tail end of it, whatever, but MySpace was the thing at the time. And I had a MySpace page, and me and the homie Connor were having a conversation. Now, for the context of the story, it's important to know Connor was my white friend, you know what I'm saying? So I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I remember what I said to him. And I remember him and I were talking about going somewhere, and I said, oh, that'd be funny, that'd be hilarious. It would be like, you know, and one N-word and one cracker showing up to this event and da-da-da, whatever. I was laughing, right? So it was a slur on my end and a slur on his end. That's what I told him, right? So yeah, I go about my day. I get home from school. Bus drops me off in front of my house, or at least the bus stop, whatever. I walk home, and I go in the house. I'm like, what's up, Mom? How's everything going, whatever? And she's looking at me like with a face where she's not that excited to see me, or at least her face is not telling me that. So I'm kind of confused. You know, when you see your parent looking at you a certain way, you like, I'm guilty of something. I don't know what it is yet. They haven't even said anything yet, but I'm guilty of something. So she's just giving me this look, and she was like, I saw your conversation on MySpace, and my heart dropped, because I said, well, damn, which conversation? Because I had a lot of conversations. Like, the last conversation I'm thinking about is one with my homie. I'm thinking about conversations with girls, the messages I was texting, like just trying to hit him up, trying to flirt, trying to whatever, talking about, oh, come over to my house, my mom's not home. I'm thinking about, like, what conversation did you see exactly? So she goes, the one with you and Connor. And I kind of like, I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool. All right. So what conversation? I'm kind of confused. And she says, come here. So she leads me into the den, which is where the office was, and that's where the computer was at the time. And she has this YouTube video already queued up on the screen. She had the exact part that she wanted me to see. She says, sit down, I want you to watch this. I'm kind of like,
Okay.
so I sit down, I watch this video, she presses play, and it was a video talking about racism and slavery and the brutalization of what they were doing to us as Black people back in the day, and how the N-word was used, and how ugly of a word it is, where it came from, and just freaking dudes getting whipped and women getting, you know what, I can't say it because I'm not trying to get flagged, and Black men being hung by their freaking testicles, and that being the last word that they hear before they freaking die. This video was crazy graphic. I was just like, yo, how is this on YouTube? I guess the rules changed. But I'm like, yo, this is wild. I remember watching that in 7th grade and just being like, this is crazy, bro. Not that I didn't know the history before, but this was a different version. I said, oh, this is raw. This is real. And from that day on, I never said the N-word ever in my life. The only time I said the N-word was when I was repeating it back to the guy that I was beating up because he called me that. Short story, another one. I was at my birthday party. This dude showed up that shouldn't have been there because he had a problem with me. He said I wanted his girl. I didn't want his girl. But the point is, he had an issue with me because he thought I wanted his girl. So when I saw him at my party, I'm looking like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, you got an issue with me. You got to leave. This is good vibes. I'm having a good time. You got to get out of here. So I told him to leave. Now, unbeknownst to me, he left the house, but he didn't leave, like, the premises. He was still outside on the curb smoking a cigarette. Now, my homegirl Kyra is also smoking a cigarette outside, and she can hear Wonton talking to somebody. She comes in the house and tells me, hey, Wonton's outside talking mad trash. He's saying Leighton, you know, he's a PUSSY, and he had to have like 50 N-words behind him to help kick me out, whatever. So I said, word? He's still here? You're saying he's still smoking a cigarette right now? So I said, okay, well, let's take a trip. So obviously everyone sees my energy and they see how angry I am walking out the house. So the whole house follows me outside, right? Long story short, I come outside and say, what were you talking about? You said I needed 50 N-words to back me up. Listen, y'all stay in the house. I'm a body me somebody today. Him and I start getting into it. freaking fight, whatever. And I'm on top of him. I have, like, it got to the point where I'm on top of him. My knees are on top of his shoulders. He can't even move. I'm whomp, 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 bodying this dude. I'm knocking the Mario coins out this boy. I'm knocking the Sonic rings out this boy. I'm maxing him out. Just bop, bop. And I'm going, what N-words were you saying, bro? What N-words? What? I ain't got nobody with me now. What N-words? Bink, bink, bink. Starching him, bro. I'm going crazy. Until my homeboy Ian comes up behind me, behind both my armpits. He grabs me and says, that's enough. Get off. That's enough. That's enough. You're gonna freaking kill this dude. So cool, I back off. We get in the car, we leave, right? So that's the only time, literally, I put this on everything I love. That's the only other time I've ever even had the N-word come out of my mouth, when I was repeating what the dude said and reminding him, oh, that's what you think I need help? You think I need backup? Nah, bro. Solo, I got this, let's handle it. So anyways, now real quick to bring this all full circle when it comes to sensitivity and, you know, black culture and trauma and anger and all these things, I'm telling you that for the people that are watching this that think I'm an Uncle Ruckus, that think I'm a, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Tom or whatever, when you hear me talk about these things or my opinions or whatever, I used to be you. I used to be you, bro. I used to be fighting all the time about stuff like this, bro. I used to be very angry and talking about, man, we're victims and it's all about racism, whatever. No, bro, we're too powerful to be talking about that. And I'm gonna get into that in a second. But I don't even like hearing black people talk like that, bro. I used to be you, man. But here's what I'll tell you though. Just like I said in the beginning of the video, that this is learned behavior, this is taught to us, we can unlearn this behavior as well, which is what I did. That's what I want you to do as well. The point I'm trying to make is this: black people, yes, we have a painful history. Yes, there are still racist people out nowadays. Yes, we have it harder than some other people in certain instances. I'm not denying that. But we got to start focusing on the good and the power that we really have. We are some of the most powerful and influential people on the planet. Forget the nation, on the freaking planet. Our music, our clothing, the way we speak. The other day I was outside at a mall and I was looking through the clothes, right? And there was a group of high school kids, you know, kind of next to me, in the area next to me. No black kids in the group. It was white kids, Hispanic kids, mainly white kids, but Asian kids in there. It was a group of like 6, 7 dudes, right? And they're talking, right? And my attention got attracted to like listening to what they were talking about, because not of what the content of what they were saying, but the way they were speaking. They were all speaking like, it sounded like if I had my eyes closed and I was just listening, it would be a group of black kids next to me. They all sounded like they're speaking like, you know, what we would call Ebonics or what we call a black accent. And I was just kind of tripping. I was listening. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Bro, we influence the youth on how they speak and how they dress and how they talk and how they move. It's not even just how we speak. It's our swag. Like, bro, we are so influential, so powerful. I just want us to start acting like it. I just want us to start acting like it, bro. Come on, man. I know somebody has to feel me on this, bro. And if everybody in the comments saying I'm wrong, I'm Uncle Tom, I'm Uncle Ruckus, it is what it is, bro. And at least one person understands it, then that's all. I'm just talking to you. That's it. If most people disagree, that's okay. I'm cool with that. Y'all know I respond to the comments. Y'all disagree? Let me know in the comments. Hook me up with some engagement, bro. Give me an algorithm boost. I don't really care. But if it's one person, if this gets to one person that maybe used to think like, you know what I'm saying, how I'm saying I used to think back in the day, very angry, very sensitive about certain things, very just like, oh, the world's against me, I can't win, very like that, and they kind of changed their mind. This kind of gave them a new awakening of like, nah, it's really not, you know, what he's saying, I understand what he's saying. That's cool. That's a win for me. I'm just talking to that one person then. That's cool with me, bro. But listen, man, I love all y'all though. If you made it this far, pat yourself on the back, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Drop a comment, let me know what your thoughts are. And till next time, man, I'll catch you later.